Welcome. Do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Exclusive.
Well, accordingly, what is obtainable. And as I said, in June 2021, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested at an airport in Nairobi, according to the story, because everybody knows that Nnamdi Kanu wasn't arrested. Neither was he, just flown, but it was under duress, and he was kidnapped. And what the law says, it says he was extraordinary rendered back to Nigeria from the Kenya, from the capital of Kenya, Nairobi, and thereabout, in the East African country. He was then flown on a private plane to Nigeria, so they could still have a private plane to fly in. Now they will now come on bike or car to drive within 1 kilometer to another in Abuja. They will tell you it's logistics problem. There are problems about logistics, but to kidnap him, there are no logistics problem. Well, for the past 18 months, he has been held in a solitary confinement in a cell at the Department of State Services (DSS), the headquarters in Abuja. Kanu had reportedly traveled to Kenya on his British passport. Since his detention in Nigeria, Kanu's family have been asking the British government to take steps to secure his release on the grounds there was no lawful basis for bringing him to Nigeria, and he was therefore subject to what they tag as extraordinary rendition. Wow. And Kanu's family has also argued that his ongoing detention is arbitrary. However, the Foreign Secretary has to date failed to reach a firm view on whether Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition or not. The family's legal team brought the challenge on the basis that there was reaching a firm view, and also is necessary to lawfully determine what steps should be taken to assist Kanu. Now, during the hearing on Tuesday, Charlotte Kilroy Casey, acting for Kanu's brother Kingsley Kanunta, Kanu highlighted that the IPOB leader has been victimized and has been the victim of a brazen and violent extraordinary rendition. She stated that this is not the first time that the Nigerian government has tried to harm Kanu. In September 2017, when he was at his home in Nigeria, the Nigerian military launched a violent raid on his house and killed 28 members of IPOB in the process. Jeez, that is appalling, man. 28 members. Well, she cited a Nigerian court a judgment on which the judge described the Nigerian government's agents as setting and as out as pythons to terminate the life of a Kanu. Yeah. Now, she then outlined the evidence that Kanu has been subject to extraordinary rendition, noting that the Nigerian government itself has admitted in domestic proceedings that if and it transferred Kanu to Nigeria without any law warrant for arrest nor any extradition process. Now, the president of Kenya, Kuyata Uhuru or thereabout, he says Kenyatta. Yeah, I'm correct. Kenyatta. He said he was not aware whether there was an arrest that took place or not thereabout. But since the power of incumbency or Nigeria is Nigeria, they know what Nigeria can do and what they are labeled for. That's why the Kenya president did not do anything as at then. Well, moreover, the Nigerian Court of Appeal ruled that Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition, a position, as she said, the federal government and Federal Court of Nigeria subsequently adopted. She explained that given the damage and also the danger Kanu faces from the Muhammad Buhari administration, it is incumbent on the British government to assist him. Cool, that's what it is. Incumbency, power of incumbency will not allow whoever, either coming from the United States or United Kingdom or coming from whichever way, the only thing they can just do is to follow the process. And now, Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged and acquitted, and this is what we can now see in Nigeria, that the Nigerian system or judiciary system is compromised, like what Bruce Fein the Ñnamdi KANU UK Mail Council. Well, the person talking now is the lawyer to Kanunta, Ñnamdi KANU's brother. Advocating for Ñnamdi KANU also, and she has been outlining and outlined so many faults from Nigerian government. She referred the court to domestic policies that evidence a clear acceptance by the British government that it has a role in protecting its citizens abroad, where there is evidence of miscarriage of justice and various instances in which the British government has publicly condemned the actions of other states or called for the release of its citizens where they have been arbitrarily detained abroad. Well, she argued that the evidence of KANU's rendition has been clear and overwhelming for some time. In response to that, Sir James Edick, KC, acting on behalf of the Foreign Secretary, stated that reaching a firm view on whether KANU was subject to extraordinary rendition was a matter of foreign policy in which the court must not interfere. He added that there was no legal basis for the court to require the Foreign Secretary to reach a view, and that KANU's challenge was pointless. Well, following the hearing, the parties are now waiting for the court to provide its ruling. Reflecting on the hearing, Kingsley KANU, who brought the challenge, said it is well known that the Nigerian courts are heavily influenced by the Nigerian government. However, they have been brave enough to take a firm stand and rule that my brother was subject to extraordinary rendition at the hands of the Nigerian government. If the Nigerian courts can do this, it is not clear to me what further evidence the British government needs to reach a firm view. Now, in my previous article, I always say the power of incumbency is just what it is, and it has been enshrined here that even foreign policies does not accept that, let alone our local policy, and we adopted even the, as it is called local, we adopted democracy under a developed nation. The judiciary system will not collapse this way, and there will not be there wouldn't be any heavy influence from whatever. Judiciary is judiciary, and if verdict is being laid and verdict that is a final, discharge and acquitted, final, freedom. Now, Ñnamdi KANU as a dual citizen, that's why his brother could easily invite a secretary or other foreign lawyers or advocate or counsel to hear the matter. So hearing or no hearing, now this is what it is. Well, I hope that the UK court will now require the foreign secretary to reach a firm view. Shirin Maka, one of the solicitors representing KANU, said KANU is a British citizen who has been subject to one of the most serious and egregious breaches of human rights. Wow. The government's position is refusing to reach a view on whether he has been subject to extraordinary rendition amounts to a refusal to condemn this breach. If the courts allow the British government to take this position, this sets a deeply troubling and dangerous precedent for any British citizen who might find themselves at risk abroad. Now, KANU's family is represented by John Alford and Shirin Maka of Bandmans LLP, together with Charlotte Kilroy, KC of Blackstone Chambers, and Tatiana Itwell of Dirty Street Chambers. Well, I don't stop now.